Welcome to the My City, My Game pod show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go. What is up? What is up, Raider Nation? This your boy Raider J77 coming to you with another Raiders video. Appreciate everybody that likes and subscribes. You guys are awesome, man. All of My City, My Game Nation, that's what I'm gonna start calling you. You guys are awesome, man. I appreciate the fact that you subscribe to the channel, that you like my videos, you comment. You guys are great. If you were watching for the first time and you like what you're watching, definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, hit the like button, share this video with all your Raiders friends. And even maybe if they're not your friends, but you just know them and they're Raiders fans, share it with them. Leave a comment on the video. I respond to every single comment that is left. So if you have a difference of opinion or you agree, regardless, man, you don't have to agree with me. Definitely make sure you leave a comment, and I will respond to it just as soon as possible. So with that being said, I've got a couple of different things I want to cover today. Want to talk about, first of all, want to talk about the Josh Jacobs situation. A mugshot was released of Josh Jacobs. Yeah, he was arrested for DUI. So according to, if you haven't already heard about this, which I'm sure you probably have, but the mugshot just got released. According to KTNV, there in Las Vegas, the mugshot in the arrest report was released for the Raiders football player Josh Jacobs, who was 22, who was accused of driving under the influence and crashing his car on January 4th near the McCarran Airport connector. According to the arrest report, a police officer who responded to the crash found Jacobs still seated in the vehicle upon his arrival with a large laceration across his forehead. The police officer observed blood on the vehicle's airbag, which had deployed in the crash. The police officer also smelled alcohol on Jacobs as he spoke to him. Jacobs told the officer that he believed he had fallen asleep and lost control of the vehicle, which caused him to crash. Jacobs was transported to St. Rose Sienna Hospital, where another police officer made contact. The police officer says he detected a strong odor of alcohol coming from Jacobs. The police officer says that Jacobs also admitted to drinking prior to the crash. Jacobs was placed under arrest, transported to the Clark County Detention Center for booking. The team sent the following statement on Monday. The Raiders are aware of the situation involving Josh Jacobs. The organization takes these matters seriously, and we have no further comment at this time. So, Raiders, which way do I point? There, right there, here, right here. That is your All-Star Pro Bowl starting running back, first-round draft pick with a giant gash on his forehead and stitches. What is happening? What is wrong with these Raiders players right now? What is wrong with John Gruden and Mike Mayock that they can't get these guys under control? I mean, have they completely lost all respect and commitment and loyalty from these players? And Josh Jacobs, what are you doing, man? You get paid to play. Looks like we might have a little freeze on the video, but that's okay. We're going to fix it. Bear with me. I'm still here. So what is wrong with you, Josh Jacobs? You get paid to play a game that you love, and you get paid well, and you're very good at it. And now, here you are, with a great job, and you're putting that all on the line, and not just your job, but your health, your safety, for a night out on the town in Vegas and a cozy, comfy little cruise through the streets of Vegas. You got to be freaking kidding me, man. Seriously. What is going on? What is the deal? This is after all of this, the players, tweeting and going off on fans, and, Josh Jacobs being one of them, and reporters and all kinds of stuff like that. Man, y'all got to get this figured out, man. And then, you got players on the team like Darren Waller who suffered from substance abuse in the past, who, if they don't get this kind of stuff checked and get in line, and this becomes an issue with Jacobs or any other player, Darren Waller will peace out, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to have anything to do with any of that. He doesn't want to be around it. I wouldn't. If I had an addiction problem, not unless you in recovery too, bro. Jon Gruden, Mike Mayock, you need to get a locker room under control, get these players under control. This is your starting freaking Pro Bowl running back with a mugshot with a scar and stitches on his head. Bashed himself into the freaking airbag, steering wheel, whatever, because he was drunk driving. You can't pay for a driver? Man. That's all I got to say on that subject. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I can't call it, man. I don't even know. I don't get it. All right, so moving on. I want to talk about the upcoming draft, the possibilities. I know it's early, but I like to get started with this stuff kind of early. Just, it's just fun for me. Some of the things that I think the Raiders should do, or players that I think the Raiders should go after or focus on in the draft. I am not, by no means am I a GM. I'm just a guy on the TV who, on the screen on YouTube, who has an opinion. My opinion doesn't have to be your opinion. My opinion doesn't have to be perfect, but this is just something I like to dabble in and play around with. I don't get super into analytics and all that kind of stuff. But I like to use the little mock drafts and kind of see what would happen if I was in that seat. And so I went ahead and did a 3-round mock draft. Actually, I think this is more than that. Anyhow, I did a few of them, and this is one that I really liked. So at pick number 17, I really feel like the Raiders need to focus on bringing in another edge rusher. I think Arden Key, I'm not 100% sold on him. Obviously, Mad Max Crosby, that dude can stay. He's gonna definitely get better. I really feel like Clelin Ferrell does have a role on this team and does well, but I like to bring in a guy that can really that can really take this team to the next level when it comes to pass rush. And can be rotated in and really get some pressure on the quarterback, because that's something the Raiders really need. So at pick number 17, which is currently the Raiders pick, I had them picking Gregory Rousseau. And Gregory Rousseau, pull up my draft. Gregory Rousseau is he's an edge rusher out of Miami. And essentially, I'm not going to get too far into it, but Miami's defensive end Gregory Rousseau produced 19.5 tackles for loss, 15.5 sacks in 2019, which is the last exposure we have of him playing college football, as he opted out of 2020 season and declared for the 2021 NFL draft. While the production is eye-popping and he has an exciting physical skill set, his game is underdeveloped, so he would need, some development, which comes as no surprise given his relative newness to playing on the defensive line. After a high school career where he primarily played wide receiver and safety, while Rousseau's frame and length off the tape. His lack of technical refinement, processing skills, and functional strength are concerning when projecting him to the next level. It will be important for the franchise that selects Rossow to understand the need for patience with his development. Rossow suffered a season-ending fractured ankle in 2018 after just 2 games and opted out of 2020. Leaving 2019 is the only year of film to evaluate, and his rawness was evident. With patience and development, Rossow has the upside to become an impact defender that can play all across their defensive line in multiple fronts. So the reason why I say pick him here, he's actually at pick number 17. He should, according to the mock drafts and stuff, he should go, and the rankings, he should go a little bit higher. But at pick number 17, you definitely want to grab a guy like this. He's just raw talent. Basically, his ideal role is going to be a starting defensive end that gets chances to rush from the interior, which we definitely need, interior pass rush. And he can play in a defense that is multiple with its fronts. So if it gets a little bit technical, you can definitely change the fronts up, and the different wrinkles and stuff in the defense. He can definitely do all that stuff. It's just he's going to need some time to really get in and develop. And I think with a guy like Rod Marinelli, who believe it or not is actually a really good defensive coach, period. We're not gonna go there because we're talking about Paul Guenther's scheme, Paul Guenther's defense, Paul Guenther's coaching, and then Rod Marinelli having to come in the middle of that. Anyhow, so I think this is a guy that can really has a huge upside. And they can they can develop, kind of work him in, because we're not super desperate as far as pass rush is concerned. Because like I said, I think we got a real good foundation with Crosby and Farrell. And then you guys got guys like Bruce Irving, Vic Beasley, and stuff that they brought in, and we'll see how those guys develop over the offseason. But bring this guy in, get him in with the veterans, and I think this guy can really be a starting high impact defensive end edge rusher if they bring him in. But you're going to have to grab him because there's not a lot of big, really good edge rushers like this guy. So you definitely have to go, get aggressive and grab him right away. For pick number 49, which is the second pick for the Raiders, I had him picking Dylan Radunz. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's an offensive tackle out of North Dakota State. Now, I know why you're probably asking, like, Raider J, why an offensive tackle? The reason being is that I feel like we need to move on from Trent Brown. We paid him so much money to play, 4 games? 5 games maybe? Last season, no. Clear that cap space. We don't have a lot of it as it is. We didn't got a lot of money. Trade him, get some value for him, something like that. Get him off the books. Bring in a guy like Dylan Radunz, who can step in and really, make an impact. So he's an offensive tackle out of North Dakota State. He aligns at left tackle for the Bison's offense, but he has the ability to swing. So right now he's playing left tackle. Swing him over to right tackle. Let some of the guys that have been playing for a while work with him. Obviously, our offensive line coach Greg Olson is very, very good. So he's doing a really, really good job with with this offensive line. So I think that this guy under him could really get coached up well. He plays with good overall athleticism with regards to body control and balance. In the run game, he is excellent, which we definitely need, with Josh Jacobs, and Devontae Booker. We definitely need guys that can do well with run blocking. He has a nasty disposition as a run blocker and wants to maul you. He can improve his proficiency at getting on moving defenders at the second level, but there's nothing alarming in this regard. He remains upright and demonstrates instances of good lateral redirect agility. He has the frame to gain more mass and bulk, which make him more effective. His scheme fit, power run scheme, or any offense that relies on timing. So again, we're a power run team, regardless of what anybody wants to say. We're not a pass heavy team. We shouldn't be a pass heavy team, not with the run game that we have, and the running backs that we have on this team. So bring in a guy. There goes my stinking video again. Bring in a guy like this, and I guarantee you, you're going to have a lot of success. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to have success with this guy. Bring him in at the right tackle position, and see what the heck he can do. Because I really feel like he has got huge upside, and he can be the next right tackle, starting right tackle for us in place of Trent Brown. So number 80 overall, pick number 80, which is the Raiders' next pick. I have them picking Chaz Surratt. And Chaz Surratt is a linebacker, because we definitely need to bring in a linebacker. And picking him at this pick is actually a little bit he actually fell in this mock draft I did. He fell a little bit further than what he should have been picked. He's a linebacker out of North Carolina. His pros are he has an outstanding physical traits in terms of size, body composition, and mobility, excellent range, lateral mobility, and his pedal is fluid, good spring and overall bounce in his step. Really like how quickly he can change directions and cover ground, which we definitely need a guy that can fly sideline to sideline at the linebacker position. Has no issues getting depth and drops and getting outside the tackles to finish. We definitely need a guy that can finish tackles. Closes distance rapidly when blitzing, shooting gaps, performs well in his initial action at linebacker after converting from quarterback. Urgent physical football player, some impressive zone drops already where he reads the backfield and fluidly works into throwing lanes. The downsides to him, still new to the position, and it's clear he's still developing and understanding his responsibilities. Still finding consistency as a tackler and setting himself to finish with correct angles. Some scrapes need to be tighter so he doesn't inadvertently widen gaps. Block destruction and playing off contact is a work in progress, but he certainly isn't shy. Needs more time to gain experience and comfort at the position, but it was apparent that happened throughout the course. That happened throughout the course of 2019. So he showed some development. So it's definitely somebody that I would go after at that pick. Bring in another linebacker. We do have what's his name? We have one guy who was on the injured reserve the entire season, and his name is escaping me, but I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, we had to bring him in, see how he does as well. You bring Chaz in, and hey, hopefully we can get another stud at the linebacker position, which we desperately need. All right, so the next pick, you guys are going to love this one, especially all you Carr fans. At number 118, pick 118, in this mock draft, Kyle Trask fell. Quarterback from Florida fell to pick 118. If he is available at 118, the Raiders better draft him, regardless of any other of need or not. Bring him in to be the future, because Derek Carr, I'm sorry, I don't feel like Derek Carr is the future of this team. I feel like we need to start looking to who's up, who's next. And I think that a guy like Kyle Trask could be, I really feel like he would be John Gruden's wet dream. I mean, just to be so, but man, I'm telling you, this dude, 6'5", 239 pounds. The guy's big, but he's also mobile. So his pros, according to Reed, after having never started a game in high school all the way through the beginning stages of 2019 season, many question his motives and why he played the game if he was only going to continue to be a career backup. The same story came to fruition with the Gators as he sat behind Felipe Franks, but he stayed the course and his regimen remained the same. When his opportunity presented itself, Trask remained ready and flourished as a redshirt junior. Trask is a well-filed out and thickly built QB prospect, a physique that holds true to every bit of what his measurables indicate. Containing a clean and directly over-the-top release, it enables him to get the ball out quick, which we need, and in an efficient manner. In the Florida offense, he's been allowed to throw from various types of platforms, under center, shotgun, and pistol. His best throws come in the underneath areas when he's allowed to attack quickly and on schedule. Right now, slants design quick patterns off of run-pass options and back shoulder vertical routes is where he experienced the most success. One of his better traits is eye discipline and manipulation. Eye discipline and manipulation. Trask is excellent excellent with looking off safeties and not giving them a beat as to where he wants to go with the ball. He also has the wherewithal to wherewithal of completely leading defenders astray and giving false impressions of where he wants to attack, only to work towards the opposite side of the field. Who does that sound like to you? I'll let you digest that for a minute. All right. Now, cons. Being that he was a starter for the first time ever in his career during the 2019 season, lots of raw aspects flash. Trask is consistent with keeping a wide base when delivering throws, but he's developed a bad habit in his lower half of not stepping with his lead leg into throws. Something definitely can be taught and worked on and improved. There are rare occurrences of him moving that leg and actually using it in his mechanics. As a result, his accuracy and velocity suffer as a result. So if you can get that improved, which you definitely can, that's just mechanics and footwork, his accuracy and velocity will improve. If it's highly noticeable that a lot of his passes loft, suddenly die, or taper off during his flight to targets. Possessing a very average arm combined with his fault leads to making life hard on his targets, as they're forced to often make miraculous catches on patterns that should be routine. When operating from the pistol shotgun, there are many examples of where the designated passing concepts and his drop back urgency hardly ever marry up. The lack of merit leads to him holding onto the ball longer than necessary, or his drop back being too fast to where he's ready to throw well before targets are ready. Trask is below average athlete with clunky feet that make life outside the pocket challenging, comfortable working within the pocket, but when things break down, he drops his eyes and strictly turns into a competitive runner. So I don't understand exactly, what it's talking about here as far as what the whoever did this review or profile on him, what exactly they are referring to, because he's actually that's not the right camera. He has actually gotten does very good at getting outside the pocket and running and extending plays. So again, I'm not 100% sure what it is they're referring to, but I think that he would definitely be a good fit, somebody that can get out of the pocket and extend plays. And the guy's big enough, that he can definitely take some hits. So again, I wouldn't, bring him in and start him right away. Nothing like that. Bringing him in, let him develop, let him work under Carr or Mariota, whoever it happens to be, and let him, it sounds like it's going to be Carr according to the Raiders, but you never know. Let him develop. Let him see what happens at pick 118. You can't go wrong with bringing in a guy like him. So, at number 158, pick 158, I have the Raiders picking Dante Stills. So, Dante Stills is, let me pull up his profile here. So he's an inside defensive lineman out of West Virginia, 6'1", 281 pounds. Stills is a quick mover out of the starting blocks. He uses his natural leverage to his advantage by remaining low, which helps him win quickly in a multitude of ways. Having overwhelming hand strength power at the point of attack, he plays very aggressive and isn't shy with using them quickly. Few match his suddenness and play violence off the line, which are the main culprits on how he experiences so much success. A consistent pressure generator or get home on twist stunts as the looper. A motor that constantly runs hot, even as an interior rusher. He has outside of the tackle box type of range in ball pursuit when chasing down plays. Cons, he is very undisciplined in his approach as a run defender. He will do many outlandish moves in order to create penetration, but in turn it leaves his gap voided for gap running lanes for ball carrier. Stills is a true up to the field penetrator that doesn't yet understand the discipline behind run fits. As a pass rusher, he's developed the habit of winning so quickly that when faced with blockers, who can match his intensity and strength, he lacks an effective counter move. As a result, he often gets stuck and left experimenting with tactics to see which eventually become effective for him in that moment. So This is definitely a guy who, at 158, he's going to be somebody that you're going to develop. But I really feel like he's got, a high upside, so he can be, he can be coached up, and those moves and stuff like that to shed those blocks can definitely be improved, and coached up. So, and then last but not least, pick 241, I got Carlo Kemp, who is an inside defensive lineman as well. So he's 6'3", 280 pounds. He is coming out of Michigan. And his recruiting rank for college was number 310 in the 216 24/7 Sports composite, 15th best strong side defensive end. His first season as a starting defensive lineman, made 17 tackles, 2.5 tackles for a loss, 12 starts, and 13 games. 219, it's hard not to project Kemp as a starter in 2019, as the senior seemed to outperform every tackle on the team last season. It seems even more likely to emerge with the departures of Marshall, Brian Moan, and Aubrey Solomon. As for his individual development, it's hard to project what Kemp has in store. Kemp already has been on campus for 3 seasons, already close to his final weight in defensive tackle. Carlo Kemp being the highest ranked defensive lineman on our list, says, according to Michigan Insider, on our list says a few things. First, him being 11th suggests that the defense may be without a true known star for the first time under Jim Harbaugh. Second, Kemp being ahead of players with higher recruiting rankings or better stats is a strong indication of the stability that Kemp brings. So according to defensive line coach Sean Nua, great leader, very unselfish, and very, very intelligent, which are all great abilities and attributes to have. I put in a lot on his plate to be a leader and lead this group because he has experience and he's very unselfish in that way. And the guys love him. The guys love him. So Kemp was has a huge role, not only on the D-line position, but the whole team. So there wasn't anything on that I could find on the Draft Network, which is where I get a lot of the stuff that I look at. And actually what I use, the mock draft that I used, you can see it here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, that's the one that I used there. So you guys can go check that out. It's thedraftnetwork.com. But yeah, so that's what I use. So those are the guys that I think that, would be good fits. And I've done multiple mock drafts and, different players come up at different times, but I know I didn't put in a safety there, and probably people are going to comment like, what about the safety position? We all know Eric Harris is not good. We need to move on from him being a starter. Hopefully the Raiders do that, but obviously a lot of people think, well, what about Jonathan Abram? Honestly, I think the next defensive coordinator, if LaMarcus Joyner ends up staying around, I would like to see him move back to the safety position where he belongs. So then you got Joyner, you got Abram, put Eric Harris as a rotational guy. Maybe if you can, if a guy comes up, draft a safety, but I just shied away from that just because, we've got some guys on the team, that can do the job like Joyner and Abram. Some people don't think Jonathan Abram is that good, but I just think that he just needs. I mean, to be honest with you, technically last season was his rookie season. He didn't play his rookie year, so he played one game or 3/4 of a game, and then he was out for the whole season. Really, no off season to speak of when it comes to the 2019-2020 season. So going into this next season, I really you should definitely see an uptick in his play. Hopefully his coverage does better. But I mean, as far as getting sideline to sideline, protecting the run, QB spy, all that kind of stuff. I mean, the dude is good. He had an interception last season. So I don't feel like, the Raiders need to make any drastic choices as far as he's concerned. I really feel like he still has a huge upside. So he still needs some time to develop. So that's why I didn't go with the safety, but I went with safeties and other mock drafts. But that's for another video. So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. My City, My Game. Hit me up on Twitter and Facebook. I'm heavy on Twitter and Facebook. I always answer, when people shout out to me or speak to me at Raider _J77 for Twitter, at My City, My Game for Facebook. My City My Game also has a Facebook page, so you can go there. You can like the My City My Game Facebook page, which is this one here. But then, in addition to that, we have a community page that you can actually join and comment and do all that kind of stuff, where we talk about all sports, not just the Raiders, but NFL, NBA, whatever. So definitely go check that out, and request to be added, and I'll get you in on that group as well. So the group page. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you stay up. And we do have merchandise available, My City My Game merchandise. The link is in the description, but I'm going to give you kind of a little snippet of what we got available at that website. So definitely make sure you go check out the merchandise. Link is in the description. All the proceeds go right back into the channel so I can keep giving you guys great content. Once again, I appreciate y'all. Raider Nation for life. Always, forever, never disloyal to this team. Raider Nation forever, and just win, baby.
Welcome to the My City My Game pod show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go.